Well, next we're going to talk about an organization that may fly under the radar for many of you, but it's an important organization here in our city talking about sustainability, and it's called Ecology Ottawa. We're joined by community organizer of Ecology Ottawa, Janice Ashworth. Janice, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thank you,
and I think I'm right when I say I think this is one of those organizations that does sort of fly below the radar for a lot of people, may not know a lot about you, but you're doing important work here in our community. Give us an overview of what Ecology Ottawa does.
Sure. Well, Ecology Ottawa started in 2006, and the main focus of the group is municipal environmental sustainability. So we work in the municipal council with municipal councillors to help them understand policies that they can adopt to make Ottawa more sustainable. And we also work with communities and helping people understand their connection to the ecosystem and how they can reduce their impact on that ecosystem.
So as far as I understand, we're not really measuring up when it comes to sustainability and being environmentally friendly here in Ottawa. Give us sort of an overview of how you've graded Ottawa as a municipality when it comes to these issues.
Sure, and what I mentioned there, Derek, was really particular to green energy.
Okay.
So in Ottawa, Ecology Ottawa is focused on green energy for the time being because it is the number one contributing factor to greenhouse gases, and we're facing a crunch in our energy supply, right?
Right.
Fossil fuels are not going to be around forever, and we need to transition to a renewable source of fuels if we expect to maintain the lifestyle that we've created for ourselves. And Ottawa is not measuring up when it comes to renewable energy generation. So we're about 1/10 of the average of across Ontario. If you compared us to the Ontario average, we're about 1/10 of where we should be.
So when we talk about renewable energy, what specifically are we talking about? What should we be investing in as a community?
Sure, yeah. Well, in an urban area, the most applicable technology, renewable technology, is really solar energy. And there is a new act, or not relatively new, but 2 years old, called the Green Energy and Green Economy Act. And that's one of the most progressive pieces of legislation in North America for green energy. So we're very fortunate in Ontario. We have an unprecedented opportunity to take advantage and become leaders in the green energy sector. That covers both energy conservation as well as energy generation, renewable energy generation. So that act allows individuals, you and me, and community members to get involved in the green energy transition and install solar panels on their own roof. We've seen community groups come together and invest collectively in a system on, let's say, their church or their school or their library or things like that.
Right.
If they themselves don't have the roof space or if they don't have the time or wherewithal to do it themselves. And so there's lots of opportunities like that. And we at Ecology Ottawa can help you understand those opportunities and take advantage of them.
Well, that's the big thing, Janice, because I think a lot of us are intimidated by this kind of thing, and we don't understand how it works, and we're also worried about the cost. So when it comes to solar energy, is it cost effective for us to, first of all, get it installed, and then how long will it take for us to reap the rewards, let's say?
Sure. Well, because of that Green Energy and Green Economy Act, there's a guaranteed rate paid for solar energy and for all renewable energy technologies, and they're all based on the cost of production. So how much it costs per unit of energy that those technologies produce for a 20-year period.
Okay.
So if you were to install solar panels on your roof right now, you would sign up a contract with the Ontario Power Authority for a 20-year contract. It's a stable investment. It's a guaranteed buyer of electricity, right? The province. And people are considering it like a socially responsible investment opportunity. It's a 20-year long-term contract, right? The technologies for solar panels are very stable, require low maintenance. There might be a few parts here and there over the 20-year period to change out, but those panels will produce energy for 30 or more years.
Janice, why do you think we've lagged so far behind of other communities? I mean, to be 1/10, I think that's a surprising number for a lot of people watching right now.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Derek, and one that we grapple with. It's interesting because if you look at the rural areas of Ottawa, the outskirts of Ottawa, it's taking off, right? There's tons of ground mount solar installations, micro hydro facilities that are at a lower rate than solar power. But if you're looking at the urban areas, which is where the solar technology is really designed to offset those long transmission losses. So between the consumption of energy and the generation of it, there's a long distance often, right? But if you're producing solar energy on your own roof, you minimize that distance completely, or you reduce it completely. So that's why getting generation facilities in the urban area is important. But Ottawa is lagging behind, and there's a few questions that people have been bringing up that leads me to believe that might be why we are. Perhaps the question of, will there be a condo on the south side of my building that will then shade my panels over the next 20 years? And that's a valid question, and people should ask that of their city councillors, perhaps, or the city densification plan. Before they install, and we can talk more about that with individuals if they're concerned. But I'm not sure why people are lagging behind, and it's my job to help them move forward.
Exactly, and you do that through some workshops as well. I know that you put on workshops. How can people get in touch with you and get involved in some of these workshops?
Sure. Well, our website is www.ecologyottawa.ca. It's all listed up there, but our workshops are taking place right now in West Ottawa.
Okay.
So tomorrow night we have one in Nepean in Westboro area. And then we have one on the 27th at Trinity Church. We have one on the 8th of June in Canada. So we have a number taking place across the west part of Ottawa, and then we'll be moving to another area after that.
Well, you're doing a great job of obviously raising awareness and getting the conversation started. That's how we're going to end up making changes down the road. Thank you so much, Janice, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Listen, don't go anywhere, because after the break, one of our favorites, as TL said off the top of the show, we're going to live the smart way. Kathy Smark in the kitchen right after this.